Hey everybody, so Tara here, and in this video I want to show you how you can create a Google sign-up form for your blog. Now this is part of my website training, so if you haven't seen all the other videos in this series, I want to make sure that you watch all of those videos. So if you're at my YouTube channel, click on the playlist, that is the website training playlist, and start at the beginning. Otherwise, this is going to freak you out, okay? But if you're here at this point, you've completed all the training, you've already started your initial posts, now it's time to learn how to create a sign-up form for your website. So right now we're in the dashboard of your website. So this is your website domain /WP-admin. You've logged in, you've done all your stuff. This screen should at this point look somewhat familiar to you, okay? All right, next up, you're gonna go to posts and you're gonna click add new. A shortcut is you can go up here and go new post. Either way, so I'm gonna click on add new. And so you might be writing a post that might be a weekly update on how your workouts are going, something like that. Maybe it's a post that's all about coaching and you get to a place, you're like, blah, blah, blah. This is awesome, whatever. Okay, you do your whole post, right? Then you wanna get to a point where you embed a form, all right? And let me show you how to create that form. You're gonna go to Google Drive. All right, that's drive.google.com. And you're going to go over here to the top left and click on New, and then More, and then Google Forms. And you're gonna start to create a form. Now, what you put on this form is totally up to you depending on what kind of information you want from your challengers. Okay, so it might be challenge group sign-up form. Okay, and so I might ask for, first and last name, and so I'll type that in, and if I have any suggestions for them, I might put it here. So if I say email address, then I might have this little help text that might just say, I won't distribute it, I might talk about it, or if you're asking someone to rate on a scale of 1 to 5, how they feel about something, then in the help text, it would just be extra instructions. Like 1 would be you don't feel good, 5 you feel great. It's just your chance to get more information. If you filled out a survey yourself, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about and you've done it. Then, depending on the form, you can pick the format of the field that you want. The field is the area that they respond to. So text might be, if it's an email address, it's just, they're just saying something simple. They just need a small little window to fill in that information. For paragraph text, you might have a question that's like, tell me a little about your struggles. That's going to take more time than just a small window, so they're going to need a little bit of a paragraph. Multiple choice. So you might say, let's say it's a coaching application. Say what motivates you? And option 1 might be maybe praise. Number 2 might be gifts. And you can have something like that. Let's say you have the checkboxes option. You might say, what programs have you tried in the past? Okay. So for that, you might put, T25, P90X, and list out different ones. The difference between the multiple choice and checkboxes is with the checkboxes, they can check more than one, okay? And let's say you're giving them a multiple choice question, but you want to give them the chance to add their own if none of the answers apply. You can click add other, and that allows them to give their own answer. Now, when you're doing this, you also have the option to click, oh wait, let me go back really fast because there's some other cool ones here. You can do choose from a list. So this would be just like a drop-down menu, just like how this is. You could do something like that. You could also do a scale. So you could say rate on a scale of 1 to 5, how you feel about fitness and how fit you are, not too fit, you could say, or if they rate a 5, it's very fit, and they would be given a scale to answer that question with. Let's see if it shows us what it looks like. Yeah, see? It looks just like that. One of my favorites that I've done, and it's a little complicated, is a grid. And this is where you might have different answers where they can click yes, no, yes, no. Let me show you what it looks like. All right, so I might have give them an opportunity to click yes and no to different answers. I don't use that too much in my applications. I just want you to know that feature is available. The others you don't really need. All right, so you could do that. You enter in all the different fields that you want. Again, if you need to edit it, you can click on that. This is duplicate if you want to kind of copy a format, or delete if you want to get rid of it. As you want to add a new question, you click add this arrow next to add item, and you click on the different things that you want. These are the same things that we just went over, right? The multiple choice, whatever, put whatever you want. And you're welcome to go on my website and check and see, look around and see different fields I have. But I also recommend look at other coaches and see what kinds of questions they are collecting. For me, my biggest priority is I need to know the name, the email address, so I know how to reach them, whether or not they already have a coach, because I don't really want to be working with existing customers of someone else unless that coach is totally, defunct and not doing anything. So, I'm looking at things like that. I want to know their need. Like, what do they need and how can I help them? So I like to keep mine relatively simple. As you are doing this, one of the options you have is to say required question. Now, you especially want this for the email field, because if someone skips the email field, you have no way of reaching them. So if they fill out the whole form, but they skip whatever field you mark as a required question, it won't let them submit that form. So email is a really good one to do that. If they start to submit it and they skipped the email question, it'll go, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you can't do that. All right, so we've got our form, right? Now, next thing I want you to do really fast before we work on anything else is I want you to go up here to where it says View Responses. This is where you're going to be able to see all of the responses that people have had. So as people start filling out your form, you're going to see things here and see what they say, and that's how you can check them. Now, you can log in every day and you can check this form. But let me show you what I do that saves me a ton of time. I go up to Tools, and I go down to Notification Rules. Now, what this is going to do is, anytime someone submits a response, you're going to get an email. That way, you don't have to monitor it all the time. So what I'll do is, I'll say, notify me at this email address when any changes are made. And I want to know, and you can choose. You can either have a daily digest of here are all the edits that were made today. I prefer to do right away. And I click like that, and I save. And then anytime there's an update, I get it. So it's doing the work for me. All right, so that was in the View Responses. Let's go back here, though. What you want to do now is you actually want to start what's called Embed the Form in the website. That's fancy talk that just means you're going to get a code here, and you're going to put the code into your website. And I'll show you how. Click here on Send Form. All right, and it's going to give you a link to share. You're going to go a little more technical for that because you want to save work on the part of whoever's at your site. What you're going to do is you're going to do embed. Now, let me tell you the difference. If someone's on your site and reading your post and you say click here to apply, they'd have to click on the link to apply. But if someone is on your site, let me go to my website right now so you can see what I'm talking about. If someone's on your site and they're scrolling through your post and they're reading all about, I'm talking about Body Beast, boom, right here is the support group application. So they can immediately, right at a glance, answer these questions. Wow, looking at this right now, I'm like, ooh, I really need to decrease the number of questions I ask. I'm asking a ton. And now that I think about that, I just changed this like a month and a half ago, and I'm getting fewer responses. So I know that asking this many questions is just too much for people. So edit that, okay? Try to keep it simple. Try to think, what do I really need to know right now? All right, so I'll have things like first name, last name, what's motivating you, what are you struggling with? This one is really important to me. I don't really care what someone's fitness level is because we're going to talk about that via email. Or why do you think this group would be good for you? We'll figure that out as we talk. So you'll figure out as you do this, you'll tweak it just like I'm talking to you right now. I'm going to change this. So you'll tweak it over time. All right, so let's go back to here. So as you remember, there was a link to share. I told you, it's not a very effective way to do it because you kind of want to embed it right in the post. So click embed. It's going to give you a code here, okay? Now, you want to copy and paste this code. But before you do that, you might find on your website that it might get cut off. The form, when you go to put it in, it might be too wide based on whatever theme you picked. If it's too wide, you can go in here and you can decrease it and you can make it 500 pixels. Think of pixels like computer inches. It's not really the measurement of inch, but it's just a form of measurement. So change, maybe lessen it to 500. Maybe you want it really wide because your theme is really wide. Do 800. Now for this particular post, see how there's this scroll option right here? See this gray bar that goes up and down? What I have found in my experience is when people do this, they really struggle with finding the submit button. So what you might want to do is you might want to tweak things and keep changing the height until you get a height to where people don't have to scroll down like they're doing on my site. You don't have to do that, but that's just something that you might find is effective. Once you get all those dimensions the way you want them, and sometimes it takes trial and error to do this, but you want to copy everything. So you click on this and you copy it. Now let's go to your post. And when you get to your post, you've already written your stuff. Over here is this tab that's visual versus text. Okay? Now the difference is basically the visual is what people see. The text is in the background. That's all that fancy computer coding that is used to tell how the computer tells it, hey, we want a bold font here. Hey, we want the red color font here. Okay, look, it looks, see, there's like weird codes. That is the code that your form is written in that you just copied. So as you remember, it looks really weird, right? Iframe SRC, that's not a real word. That's okay, that's just fancy computer code. So go back over here and paste that computer code. Now when you go back, you click on visual if you want to see what it looks like. It's not going to give you a preview there. You're going to have to wait until it's published. Let me see if we can see preview. But basically, it's going to get this all set up to where you're going to be able to look at your blog. Oh yeah, there we go. I can see right now. So this is a chance for me to go, oh, the width is perfect. I don't need to fix the width. I don't need to fix the height because people don't have to, there's no scroll bar. Remember, like I showed you that gray bar? Everything is just the way it needs to be, and I can publish it. Okay, that's it. And this is a great way to capture information. It really is simple. The more you do it, the easier that it gets. And so anytime I'm doing a blog post related to anything, at the very end, I just say, hey, if I'm sharing a recipe, I'm like, hey, if you want more recipe ideas, you might be interested in our support group application. Fill this out and I will get you more information. Coaching, anytime you talk about coaching, you might say, hey, here's more information about our coaching group. There's a lot of different options for you to do here and to play around with it. And remember, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again, don't be scared to try something and just not do it at all. Jump in. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. Embrace that and realize it's going to make you better, okay? So I hope that helps, but remember that you can ask me questions and I can try to get back to you. I prioritize my team, understandably so, but I'm happy to answer questions in regards to embedding Google Forms. So I hope that helps. If there are other topics related to creating your Beachbody blog, I would like to hear them so that I know what else to create. All right, take care, everyone.